foam above the container, otherwise you're not going to get side pieces. Okay, like the other one, we were very level with the container. This is the opposite. And then with the pot tape, what you don't want to be doing, okay, is like that, where you see the tape there. It's horrible, isn't it? Yeah? So it's okay to do that just for a second, but I'm going to take it off in a minute. So I'm going to put one across. I'm going to indent it into the foam, but I'm deliberately not going through the centre, okay? Because that's where my foam corner is going. And then you can put a little piece going across. These type of containers are not too bad because they're quite dry, but if you've got something quite shiny, sometimes the tape doesn't always stick. So if you go across with another piece, it just gives that little bit extra security. You can also use the thin tape. So if you use the thin tape, it gives you more, the thinner pot tape, it gives you more oasis visible here. And you can actually buy in the market clear pot tape, which I think is a lot better than this one. Yeah, I've got it at home. There's two different types. There's one that's actually like this, and you can see the white, you know, the white thread that's running through, which is a really strong version, or there is a more of a sellotapey version.
It's still good though, the sellotapey one.
It's okay, yeah, it's more stretchy though, so you do have to do that. But I think the other one's quite good, this one, because it doesn't, of the white, of the clear. I always think that looks good. So you've got one going across, one going that way, deliberately not in the middle. This one's slightly off centre. Okay. So your height of your design will be dependent on the container that you've chosen. So your container is a third, okay, of your whole design. So this is 1/3. 1, 2, 3. So your container, the design height is 2/3 from here to here. Your container is 1/3. Okay. So you might find you want to use a little stick to help you, but sometimes I just do this. 1, 2, 3. So about here is what my height is, and I will turn it around in a second. But I'm going to use a piece of leather leaf. I'm using the back of the foam. You'll notice I'm using all of it. Okay, I'm not here. I'm actually using all of the foam so that it's nice and stable. So I tend to put my height in first. 1, 2, 3. That's my height, so I know where I'm going. I want to do my width now, and that is a third. So use your container as your measuring tool. And you want 2 of them the same. So I tend to just cut one and then cut the second one, so they're matching. And they're going to go at the side, but rather than being sort of quite straight, just slightly curve them in a little bit, give them a bit more, not so rigid looking. And also, it's important that you lay it against the container, so you're not doing this, it's fanning up. It shows this underneath, okay, so you're using against the container. And if you want the foam to be there, the foliage, then make sure the stem goes there. Some people go like from the side like that, and what happens is you're using an air of foam over here, but actually your flowers are supposed to be going there. So always go in the direction you want the actual material.
And then 2 bits on 1/3.
A third, yeah. So you've got your height and your width. Now I want to know what my depth is to make it 3D. Okay, so my depth is the same, but a little bit shorter, so I use a third, and that goes at the front. Okay. So what I was saying before, if you imagine a dotted line, yeah, from like, or your elbow and your arm there, that's the sort of placement your flowers are. This is your sort of place here. So it's a triangle, symmetrical. Yeah? So you imagine that line. So you've got a line from here to here, you've got a line from here to here, and I've got a line from there to there. That's my profile here. So that's what I would say your main parts are first. Then I would now start to work in these gaps that I've just saw my line. So this is where you can start using your other foliages and things as well. But I might just for the minute put a little bit of leather leaf just on the corners, just to give a bit of depth really to the back. Leather leaf is more of a foliage that can give you the shape. I wouldn't say it's a choice foliage. you want to start incorporating things like your eucalyptus and ferns and all that type of thing. But I like level E just to give you a bit of an idea of where I'm going. Keep some longer pieces here to help with the profile. Attached. I don't want to go mad with level leaf, it's just really giving me my shape, so I roughly know where I am. So now I'm going to use things like, you've got the rosemary, this lovely eucalyptus scenario. I'm going to start putting a nice long piece at the top, but no bigger than where the level leaf was. So that's my sort of tall part, echoing it with my sides. And then you can just sort of follow the same sort of pattern really. And what people sometimes do with arrangements is they have this tendency to cut everything really short and feel they have to go like here. You don't need to go really short, you can keep things at a nice length. You can go add things in after as recession if you want to. And that's what you need to be doing, is keeping your length a little bit. This is my profile here, so you do want material coming out. I'm going to add a little bit of rosemary. I like this. The only thing I'm not keen on is the tips. Some of them are a little bit bendy, so you've got to work with it. Yeah? Sometimes you might think it's too soft. It's probably because it's new growth before it's been cut. They're new shoots, which means they go soft. You might want to start thinking about, especially if you're looking for the, merits distinctions, and you can make a really good standard front facing, is using groups and lines. So you might want to bring some foliages over as a group, or a line of them running through, rather than just being dotted. It's just showing your understanding of the principles and elements. Bringing the rosemary on this side over, turn it around in 2 seconds. I'm going to go that way with me, the plan is that way with my rosemary. And then I might want to go this way. This is really nice. It's a nice soft, delicate foliage. It's quite seasonal at the moment. To look at your stems and how you can sort of break them down. So the brief for the assessment is a front-facing arrangement. It doesn't give you measurements. It's 35 minutes, so obviously bear that in mind. Don't go really big. It'd be great if you could make a big design. And the concept's the same, like this, but just on a bigger scale. But you've got to bear in mind your time. But I don't think you should go any smaller than this size, really, because it's quite hard for you to then show all your knowledge and understanding of the principles and elements. Turn it 2 seconds. So I'm going to stop the foliage for now. I'm going to come back to that if I need to. I sort of roughly know where I'm going with my height, width, depth profile.